Hello and welcome. Encoding passwords is when we encrypt and store passwords securely to prevent unauthorized access to sensitive information. Let's have a look at how we can demonstrate encoding of passwords. The primary feature is that T4E allows you to convert any text into an internal coded string. So that text could be passwords, user IDs, or any information at all. It normally is used for passwords, and the reason you would use you would need password is, for example, if you have a database that is password protected or need to be accessed by your own credentials. However, in our example at the moment, we don't have protection on our simple databases. So let's just demonstrate it in another way. Let's assume that we want to encode any string of text. So in here, we know that this file contains the string Sydney, so that if we look at Notepad, this is the value found in branch 1. Now, we could illustrate encoding by replacing this Sydney with an encoded value for Sydney. The way to do this is we find the encoded text corresponding to Sydney. So in our commands, we say code Sydney, and then if we click on submit, on our log we can see it created a string enclosed in 3 hashes. That is the encoded string corresponding to Sydney, and we will not, of course, reveal to anyone that this is actually Sydney. Where we need Sydney, or in our case passwords, if Sydney was our passwords, we can use that. So let's go to the file and see if we can use the encoded string instead of Sydney. So let's use this, and so we don't see Sydney anymore, but we have instead that encoded string. We will save that, and then what we expect to happen instead when he reads that as branch1.text, row 1, it will somehow use Sydney. So let's go and try this and see what happens. So the file doesn't contain Sydney, and the result shows us that yes, our branch still looked for Sydney, because it replaced that SQL command with correct value for the encoded. It decoded the string, the encoded string, and put back Sydney in here. So that's an example of how we can do encoding, which we can apply to passwords or any text that we wish to do. Thank you very much.